The courtroom was tense. Cameras may not have been rolling, but every second felt like a scene straight out of a gripping legal drama. And at the center of it all was Sean Diddy Combs, hip-hop mogul, business tycoon, and now embattled defendant in a federal trial that's shaking the entertainment world to its core. On May 16th, during the fifth day of his high-profile federal sex trafficking trial, Diddy's composure was anything but passive. As his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura faced her second grueling day of cross-examination, Combs remained deeply engaged, leaning forward, scrutinizing transcripts, and furiously scribbling notes that he slid down to his legal team with the urgency of a man fighting for his life. According to NBC News and multiple reports from inside the Manhattan courtroom, Combs, now 55, was laser-focused on every word Ventura spoke, with courtroom monitors broadcasting the live transcript of her testimony. Diddy hunched forward, absorbing every line. Observers noted how he passed written messages, some say rapidly, to his lawyers, seemingly strategizing on the fly. This wasn't just another day in court. This was a pivotal moment in a case that could redefine Diddy's legacy forever. Cassie takes the stand. Again, Cassie Ventura, the 38-year-old singer, model, and former longtime partner of Combs, returned to the witness stand for a second day of intense questioning. But this wasn't just a battle of legalese. It was a harrowing testimony that painted a disturbing picture of life behind the closed doors of Diddy's glamorous empire. Cassie, who ended her on-and-off relationship with Combs in 2018 and is now pregnant with her third child with husband Alex Fine, didn't hold back. Her voice, reportedly calm but unwavering, echoed through the courtroom as she recounted years of what she described as abuse, manipulation, and coercion. She alleged that early in their relationship, Combs introduced her to what he called freak-offs, multi-day, drug-fueled sex parties involving strangers, escorts, and increasingly disturbing power dynamics. It started in the first year, Cassie said under oath. Sean hired an escort so I could perform for him. Eventually, it became like a job. I had the contacts, I booked the hotel rooms, everything. Her description of these so-called freak-offs was chilling. She described scenes where she was allegedly made to take drugs and engage in sexual acts with hired escorts while Combs watched, often for 36, 48, sometimes 72 hours straight. There was no room to breathe, she said. No space to live. I didn't want to do it, but eventually I felt like I didn't have much of a choice. I didn't know what no could turn into. Allegations of violence, control, and blackmail. But the disturbing accounts didn't stop there. Cassie also claimed that Combs recorded these encounters, allegedly using the footage to maintain control over her, possibly even as blackmail. She accused him of leveraging both his wealth and influence as weapons, ensuring that saying no didn't feel like an option. He had the money, the security, the power. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel like I had an out, Cassie testified. And then came the allegation that sent a wave of shock through the courtroom. According to Cassie, after their romantic relationship had ended around 2018, she and Combs had what she described as a closure dinner in Malibu. What started as a farewell evening allegedly turned into something much darker. We had dinner. We talked. He offered to drive me home, Cassie said, voice cracking slightly. When I got inside, he followed me in. That's when he raped me, on the living room floor. She continued. I remember crying. I was saying no. It was fast. His eyes, they were black. He wasn't himself. Diddy's legal team fires back for Combs, and his legal defense, the stakes couldn't be higher. Already charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and transporting women across state lines for prostitution, Diddy has pleaded not guilty to all charges. In response to Cassie's testimony, Combs's lawyers aimed to dismantle her credibility. During cross-examination, they argued that Cassie was not a victim, but a willing participant. They alleged that she took part in the drug-fueled parties by choice, suggesting her accounts were exaggerated or fabricated entirely. They pointed to her continued involvement in Combs's life and career long after the alleged abuse began. "You stayed with him for a decade," one of the attorneys noted. "You helped run his events. You appeared happy. How do you explain that?" But Cassie didn't waver. "What you see in public isn't what happens in private," she said. The shadow of the 2023 civil settlement. This isn't the first time Cassie has brought allegations against Combs. In late 2023, she filed a civil lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault, domestic violence, and more. That case was settled out of court within just 24 hours. A lightning-fast resolution,